History is a story. It's a tale we tell ourselves about where we came from. We think we have it all figured out. We learn the dates. We memorize the names of kings and queens. We study the rise and fall of great empires. This story feels comfortable, familiar, and complete. But what if it's not? What if the official version of history, the one written in textbooks, has huge gaping holes? These missing pieces are where the real adventure begins. It's the search for these lost fragments that drives explorers, archaeologists, and dreamers like me to the farthest corners of the globe, digging for the truth. Every discovery, no matter how small, holds a piece of the puzzle. We are drawn to these mysteries because they whisper a tantalizing secret: that our ancestors were more complex, more ingenious, and perhaps far more advanced than we ever give them credit for. The call of the unknown is a powerful one. It's the thrill of standing on the edge of a new discovery, knowing that the next artifact you unearth could change everything we thought we knew about the past. When we encounter an object that doesn't fit our neat timeline of history, it sparks our curiosity. These anomalies are what make history exciting. We do it because every bizarre artifact is a direct link to the people who made it. It's a tangible piece of a lost world, a physical echo from a time we can barely imagine. Holding one of these objects in your hands is like shaking hands with the past. Our journey will take us across the globe and through the annals of history. We will dive into the watery grave of the Antikythera shipwreck, travel to the cradle of civilization, and pore over cryptic pages. We will have to navigate a minefield of theories, from mainstream science to wild speculations that involve everything from forgotten supercivilizations to ancient aliens. The past is calling, full of secrets waiting to be unearthed. The expedition into the unexplained begins now. Our story starts not in a dusty tomb, but in the deep blue waters of the Mediterranean. The year is 1900. A group of Greek sponge divers are forced by a violent storm to take shelter near the island of Antikythera. Once the storm passes, a diver, Elias Stadiatis, heads down. He comes up just babbling in terror about a heap of rotting corpses and horses down on the seafloor. The captain, thinking the diver's lost his mind, dives down himself. What he finds isn't corpses, but something just as shocking: the wreckage of a massive ancient Roman cargo ship. This becomes the first major underwater archaeological expedition in history. They pull up priceless art, but mixed in with it, there's something else. A strange calcified lump of bronze. It gets shipped off to the National Archaeological Museum in Athens. And there it sits for 2 years, ignored. Then, on May 17, 1902, the lump of bronze cracks open. An archaeologist named Valerios Steas is examining the collection when he notices the split. He takes a closer look inside and he just can't believe his eyes. He sees not solid metal but a series of intricate interlocking gears. It looks like the inside of a clock. But that's just impossible, right? Clocks with gears that complex wouldn't be invented for another 1400 years. For decades, the mechanism remains an enigma. It isn't until the 1950s that a science historian named Derek J. de Sola Price uses new technology, like X-rays, to peer inside. Scientists have now virtually reconstructed the device. It was a mechanical model of the cosmos. When someone turned the handle, pointers showed the precise positions of the sun and moon, and even accounted for leap years. But the back of the device was where the true genius really lay. 2 large spiral dials tracked complex celestial cycles, including the 19-year Metonic cycle for calendars, and the Saros cycle, which can be used to predict eclipses, potentially even what color the moon would be. This device proves that the ancient Greeks weren't just thinkers, they were master builders. It suggests a whole tradition of complex mechanical engineering that has been almost completely lost to us. So, who was the genius behind it? Theories point to the astronomer Hipparchus, or a device mentioned by Cicero. But the creator's name isn't stamped on the gears. It's a ghost in the machine. This single artifact, which survived by pure chance, stands as a lonely testament to a forgotten age of genius, leaving us with this one baffling ghost. Our next expedition takes us from the depths of the Mediterranean to the sun-scorched sands of the Middle East. We travel to modern-day Iraq, the cradle of civilization. The year is 1936. Workers excavating for a new railway line unearth a collection of simple clay pots dated to the Parthian period, nearly 2,000 years ago. 2 years later, Wilhelm Koenig, the director of the Baghdad Museum, comes across one of these strange jars. He looks closer, his curiosity piqued by its unusual contents. Inside the jar was a copper cylinder. Suspended in the center but not touching it was an iron rod, held in place by an asphalt plug. Koenig recognized the specific arrangement of the metals. It was the exact construction of a galvanic cell, a simple electric battery. All you'd need to do is pour in an electrolyte and the chemical reaction would generate a small but steady electrical current. So, what were they used for? One popular theory is electroplating. A series of batteries could have been used to apply a thin layer of gold onto other objects, creating finely gilded artifacts that are otherwise hard to explain. Another theory suggests a mystical purpose, creating a divine tingle in religious idols. Or perhaps they were used for a primitive form of electrotherapy to numb pain. Of course, the mainstream archaeological community remains unconvinced. For the battery theory to hold up, we'd expect to find other artifacts, like wires. So far, none have been found. The leading alternative theory is that they were simply storage vessels for sacred scrolls, with the components designed to protect the precious document from decay. But that doesn't explain why two different, separated metals were used. The object's construction is just too perfect. Is it proof of lost ancient technology, or a fantastic coincidence that's captured our modern imagination? Our expedition now moves into the realm of pure information, to the Voynich manuscript, the world's most mysterious book. It is written in a language that has never been seen before or since. Its illustrations only deepen the mystery, a botanical section of unknown plants, astronomical charts of a distorted cosmos, and bizarre scenes of figures bathing in strange, interconnected pools. For over a century, the world's best cryptographers, linguists, and even AI programs have tried to crack its code and all have failed. It has defeated every mind and machine thrown at it. Is it an elaborate hoax, a real but lost language, or the work of a mystic, channeling a divine message we were never meant to understand? We now turn to artifacts so famous they've inspired blockbuster movies, the crystal skulls, intricately carved from solid quartz. They've been presented as priceless relics of ancient Mesoamerican civilizations. The legend says there are 13 skulls, and when brought together, they will unlock a great secret. Believers argue their impossible perfection points to a lost, advanced technology, but when scientists examined them, they found the unmistakable marks of modern 19th century carving tools. The skulls were not ancient but modern forgeries, likely sourced from a French antiques dealer named Eugene Bobon. Finally, we turn to the Piri Reis map, a fragment of a world map drawn by an Ottoman admiral. It is remarkably accurate for its time, but the real mystery lies at the very bottom. There, Piri Reis drew a landmass that looks like the coast of Antarctica, free of ice. Antarctica wasn't discovered for another 300 years, and its coast hasn't been ice-free for thousands. Piri Reis himself wrote that he compiled it from much older source maps. Did he have access to a library of ancient knowledge from a forgotten seafaring civilization that had charted the entire globe? So, after all this, what have we learned? These artifacts are echoes in a vast historical chamber, and they tell us one simple thing: we don't know as much as we think we do. The story of our past is not a finished book, it's a rough draft, and these objects are the cryptic footnotes we are only just beginning to decipher. These artifacts are our modern-day dragons. They represent the boundary of our understanding, a necessary dose of humility reminding us that the past remains stubbornly mysterious. These mysteries endure because they speak to something deep within us. In a world that often feels overly explained, they offer a sense of magic and wonder. The mystery belongs to everyone. Who knows what will be found tomorrow? The Earth is a giant treasure chest of historical secrets. We have only scratched the surface. This is my challenge to you. Keep your eyes open. Keep your mind open. Ask questions. The spirit of exploration is not reserved for a select few, it's a human birthright. The journey never truly ends because the past is not a destination, it's a direction. The hunt for answers, the thrill of the chase, and the sense of wonder we feel when we touch the past, that is the real treasure. Keep searching.